Live from the Nebraska Ag Expo, this is the Sunrise Report. This special presentation is being brought to you by the Nebraska Ag Expo and Prairie Industries. Now, let's go inside the Lancaster Event Center in Lincoln for this morning's Sunrise Report. Here are your hosts, Bryce Doeschot and Chad Moyer.
Well, good Thursday morning, folks, and welcome back for the final day of the Nebraska Ag Expo. Bryce Doeschot and Alex Voichoskie joining you here on the Sunrise Report. We sure appreciate you waking up with us, grabbing a cup of coffee, and checking out some of the behind-the-scenes efforts here at the Nebraska Ag Expo. Alex, yesterday, busy day as we see some of this footage from yesterday. A lot of folks filing in here to the Lancaster Event Center.
It was so busy yesterday, especially compared to day one, and I thought day one was busy, so we look at day two, there were tons of people, and that makes me so excited for day three.
Well, we got to remind folks that doors will open this morning at 8:30, and they actually close a little bit earlier today as exhibitors begin to pack up and get this large machinery out of the event center. So the doors will close at 3 o'clock, but plenty of time if you're coming out to the show today to check out the 9.2 acres of exhibit space.
And even though it's day three, there's still a lot going on, and we had a chance to catch up with a couple different people who have a lot of great information to share.
So coming up on this morning's Sunrise Report, first we'll check in with the CEO of the parent company of the Nebraska Ag Expo. His name is Mark Hennessy. We've got an interview with him. And Alex, you have got a segment with the hemp growers, right?
Yes, so I visited with the U.S. hemp growers, and they have so many products that they make out of hemp. I didn't even know that there were so many things you could do with it, but we'll get that coming up in a little bit.
And then finally, we'll round things out checking in with our friends over at the U.S. Custom Harvesters and a unique trailer that they brought. All of that is coming up on this morning's Sunrise Report.
The Sunrise Report is brought to you by these Rural Radio Network partners. The Nebraska Ag Expo. It's a new name, but the same great show. Now in its 14th year, the annual Nebraska Ag Expo is the second largest indoor ag show in the United States. This pure ag show features the best ag has to offer, from big iron, precision ag, aerial imaging, and livestock production to inputs, data management, and more. And Prairie Industries. Prairie manufactures innovative, reliable agricultural equipment that maximizes customer efficiency and profitability. From their air reels to water solutions, Prairie has products to help your farming operation. Visit them at the Nebraska Ag Expo or visit them online at prairie.com.
Well, welcome back to the Sunrise Report. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. Yesterday, Bryce caught up with Mark Hennessy of the Iowa-Nebraska Equipment Dealers Association to learn a little bit more about the parent company of the Iowa and Nebraska Ag Expo. Let's check out that video.
Absolutely. The association, we're an organization comprised of about 430 dealerships throughout Iowa and Nebraska. We've had a long heritage. We started in the late 1800s, so we've been around almost 120 years. And we've been serving dealers, primarily ag dealers, throughout both states in the areas of education. We provide a lot of support with manufacturer relations. And then we also help on statewide legislation, things of that nature, to help our dealers be able to have a good voice at the state houses. So that's really where our roots have come from.
We're standing here at the Nebraska Ag Expo, which has grown now to be the second largest indoor farm show in the country. Big, tall task, but as you mentioned, that's not the only thing you do. So how do you all as an association representing all those groups try to balance all these different priorities and put on a great show like this, but also keep an eye on the state houses and make sure policy priorities are in line?
Well, it starts, we have a great staff.
Yeah.
And we've got excellent relationships with our dealers. We've got long-term relationships with them. Many of the things we're doing here today is a result of our dealers really stepping up in a huge way to be able to provide the equipment for these booths, be able to support and answer any kind of questions that producers may have, and really to create an environment like this that feels normal in spite of our COVID years that we have in front of us. So it's a great testimony to our dealers that really have stepped up in a huge way in the relationships and their concern for ag and their commitment for ag here in Nebraska. And it's a wonderful thing to see.
On that note, Mark, when I was in Iowa covering that show, spoke with the folks over at Duolift, and their director of sales, Paul Hotovy, spoke so highly of the association for being able to host both the Iowa show and then Nebraska here a couple weeks later. Talk about what this means for your member organizations and the dealers across the two states to be able to have a farm show to come to.
Sure. I can tell you this year is unique. This is a year in which many farm shows canceled. They did not have the support of the dealers. They did not have, I think, the courage to be able to have a show and work with the state and the local officials to really pull something like this off. I'm really proud of being able to see how many people have come in the doors. There's a tremendous response by the farmers, the ranchers, to come to a show like this, where it's really a shot in the arm, not a Moderna shot or a Pfizer shot. It's a shot in the arm where the spirit, where people start to feel it's getting back to normal again. And when you see the engagement and you see the energy, you can just feed off of it. That to me is really a wonderful thing that we're starting to do. We start to feel we're going forward in our world, that we have to wear these masks and deal with the COVID issue as a whole.
Final thoughts from you? Anything else you'd like to add?
One thing, come to the show, wear a mask, and enjoy the experience. I think it's a wonderful time. If you need more information, go to our website, nebraskaagexpo.com, where you can find the listing of vendors, exhibitors, and things of that nature to have us a great experience for yourself.
Excellent.
So thank you, Bryce.
Great to hear those comments from Mark Hennessy. Again, he's the CEO of the Iowa-Nebraska Dealers Association as they host the Nebraska Ag Expo. Again, one more day, folks. Doors open up here at 8:30. It's been unique this year with some of the different products we've been able to see. As we pan over here, we're standing in front of Bish Enterprises, and they're showcasing some of their hemp products. This massive drone up here ahead of us. And Alex actually had the opportunity to visit with some of the folks when it comes to hemp. And what do you do with hemp byproducts? And she found an interesting gentleman who had a few of his products on display here at the Nebraska Ag Expo.
So today we're joined by Aaron. He is with Hemp Engineered Manufactured Products and Salt Creek Hemp. There's a lot going on at your booth today, Aaron. Tell us what is going on.
Well, we brought hemp to Nebraska. I'm actually originally from Colorado, and we've got a little bit of a head start with the hemp products. We've been growing for 7 seasons now, so we've got a little bit of experience under our belt. And with Salt Creek Hemp, we have a CBD product line that we originally started with when we got into the hemp growing. Ironically, 7 years ago, I thought I would be building products like these behind me out of what we call a hemp lumber. It took a little bit longer than I thought, but here we are 6 years later, and we actually have made this dream come to life. The neat part about the hemp engineered products is it's an alternative source for farmers to use their products that they're growing or the crops that they're growing. CBD is a great product. We're very proud of our product line for your health. However, there's piles of stalks laying around everywhere because we just use the flower. And if we do a seed crop, we just grab the seeds and we've got these stalks laying around. So with all these piles of stalks laying around, we decided, let's make some logs.
So Aaron, you're holding this block. Explain to us what this is and where each product is coming from.
Certainly. So this is an example of what we would call a hemp log, or a piece of hemp lumber, if you will. We compress the stalks with a resin into a mold, and we end up with a 5-inch by 5-inch by 52-inch long log. From there, we can then cut it down with saws, and we can create 2 different looks, a rift cut and a face cut. All we have to do is flip it 90 degrees in the saw, and we get an entirely different look. So this is where it all starts, and then eventually, through a lot of sanding, hard work, cutting, planning, we end up with products like this.
And so explain to us then what some of these other products are that you guys have created.
So what we've gone for is some looks for your home. We just want hemp to be in everybody's home. So we've actually got some great products over here, like a Lazy Susan, some small pencil boxes, just things that bring that accent, that look into your home, just slowly integrating hemp into people's lives.
Sure thing. And this is all a value-added product for hemp, and that's something that you said, Nebraska growers or hemp growers in general are really going to be looking for. Tell me more about that.
Okay, so when we grow for our CBD, we just harvest the flower. So we've got these huge piles of stalks because the flower is only a small percentage of the plant. So we can add some value per acre by baling these stalks, getting them to a facility, and then turning them into this lumber. Even if it's only an extra $500-600 an acre, we start doing the math on that, it's some pretty good value added.
Sure thing. All right, Aaron, is there anything we missed that's important to mention?
No, it's just great to be on the show circuit. Actually, it's so nice to be back out, seeing people again, and seeing the world return to some sort of normalcy.
Yes. All right, thanks so much, Aaron. He is with the Hemp Engineered Manufactured Products and Salt Creek Hemp for the Nebraska Ag Expo.
Alex, I never would have imagined there'd be so many different uses for hemp, and that was certainly a unique one here on display at the Nebraska Ag Expo.
Yeah, there were so many. I actually kind of wanted to buy something for my home, but it was really pretty.
There's one more day. You can certainly sneak back over there and get your checkbook out.
This is true. Well, there's so many products here at the Nebraska Ag Expo. If you get a chance to see all of it, I mean, there's so much to see, it's almost hard to see it in one day.
It is. I know a lot of folks that'll make a 2-day trip out here to the Nebraska Ag Expo, so perhaps you were out here before and you want to come back out. There's lots to see, including this from the U.S. Custom Harvesters. Alex, they brought a trailer to showcase some of their history.
So we've made our way at the Nebraska Ag Expo to the U.S. Custom Harvesters booth, and we're visiting with Glenn. Glenn, tell us a little bit about what this company is and some of the things you guys brought out to the show this year.
Okay, so this is the U.S. Custom Harvesters Incorporated, and we're a member-based organization of custom harvesters, whether that be grain harvesters, forage harvesters, we have cotton pickers, we have some custom silage packing contractors, anybody that does custom work in the forage and grain industry. We primarily cover the Midwest, but we have members from Pennsylvania to California. And we brought our memorabilia trailer here, which has a lot of our Hall of Fame plaques in it and our past board members and just interesting things from our organization that over the history of organization. That's what we keep in this trailer here, and that's what we brought. And we're here to drum up members for organization. We're also here to facilitate customers that need to know that custom harvesting is an option for people or something that they can hire, and how they would go to find a custom harvester so that they can get their crops harvested.
All right, you're talking about this trailer that's behind us. Let's go pop in and see what it's all about.
Well, we have a whole bunch of memorabilia, some pictures of some early harvesting from way back in 1940, even clear back to 1915. Some of the threshing machines and some of the early stuff from custom harvesting. We have plaques of all of our board of directors, from clear back when the organization started in 1983. We have we've been giving scholarships to young members clear back from 1991. So there's a whole list of scholarship winners from our organization. We have belt buckles. We've been doing belt buckles since 1984, I think. So we have belt buckles, a collection of belt buckles from those. We have a Hall of Fame. We give anywhere from 1 to 4 Hall of Fame recipients every year in our organization. People that have been either harvesters that have been real influential in our organization, or even vendor members that we have, because we have a whole bunch of vendors that support our organization, industry members, John Deere, McDon, just a whole bunch of vendors that help our organization as we travel throughout the season and that help us with that. So we've been doing Hall of Fame. We induct people into our Hall of Fame every year, and so we have plaques with all of that. And then we have a whole bunch of different organizations or different members here. We have a collection of hats from all of our members that have all of their hats. So there's a whole bunch of those displayed here. So that's what we got some toys. We got all kinds of neat stuff here. So we have the ability. We have some photo albums even we don't have out. So we have the ability to take this trailer then so we can show people. So it's not just stuck somewhere in a building that nobody ever gets to. That's why we like to take this trailer out and take it to shows like this.
All right, Glenn, thanks so much. Again, we've been visiting with Glenn. He's with U.S. Custom Harvesters here at the Nebraska Ag Expo.
Great to hear those comments from Glenn. He's with the U.S. Custom Harvesters Incorporated. Alex, that about does it for our show today, the Sunrise Report for day number 3 of the Nebraska Ag Expo.
Yes, day number 3 wraps up today. Doors open at 8:30. They close at 3, so you still have plenty of time to come out and see everything. There's so much to see here. It's amazing.
And before we wrap up, we do want to thank our sponsors once again. They are the Nebraska Ag Expo and Prairie Industries. And of course, we also need to say thank you to you for joining us the past 3 days and watching the Sunrise Report here on our Facebook pages.
Hope to see you out here.
The Sunrise Report is brought to you by these Rural Radio Network partners. The Nebraska Ag Expo. It's a new name, but the same great show. Now in its 14th year, the annual Nebraska Ag Expo is the second largest indoor ag show in the United States. This Pure Ag show features the best ag has to offer, from big iron, precision ag, aerial imaging, and livestock production to inputs, data management, and more. And Prairie Industries. Prairie manufactures innovative, reliable agricultural equipment that maximizes customer efficiency and profitability. From their air reels to water solutions, Prairie has products to help your farming operation. Visit them at the Nebraska Ag Expo or visit them online at prairie.com.